Hello everyone, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Welcome back to my channel. I am here for a part of a collection video. Somebody had asked me, or maybe a few of you had asked me about my hand-turned fountain pen collection. So I'm going to take you through all of my hand-turned pens today. Gosh, words. First, I am going to take you through the pen makers where I only have one of their pens. And then I'm going to also bring in quickly something that isn't a pen, but was also hand-turned by a pen maker. So these are the 5 hand-turned pens where I only have one from each brand, and I'll take you through each brand individually. The first one, I don't know enough about Franklin Christoph to know if they are machined or hand-turned, but I know that they are a smaller pen company in relation to, like, you know, Leonardo and Pilot and all that. But the one that I have from Franklin Christoph is this Model 31 in Ascension Wing. So the blank is from Storm Wind Blanks from Jennifer Early, and this was an exclusive from Goulet Pens, and I absolutely adore it. It's actually a very comfortable pen in my hand. I thought at first that the threads were going to be a little bit uncomfortable, and they were at first, but I've actually gotten really used to it, and I feel like this pen is really comfortable. You can certainly post it. I don't. It's a little back heavy if I try to post it, so I don't really post my pens. But that is my one and only Franklin Christoph, and that is in the Model 31. But can we just admire this blank and all of those holographic sparkles? And then there's the grays and the blacks with the mix of purples in there. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to see the Franklin Christoph table at the San Francisco Pen Show and just look at what's there, because I'm just impressed with just this one from them. But they also have their different nibs, and this fine nib is superb, and I'm excited to try different grinds from them as well. So that is Franklin Christoph. Next, we have one from Silver Burl Pens, and this is from John Sanderson in the UK. And what he has here is, I think this is the, gosh, I forget the exact model of it, but this is in the, maybe the Simple or the Silver series, I believe it is, where he has other models that have facets, and facets don't really work well with me. So this one is very smooth around, and this is in the Strata Quartz with these really shiny finials, and then that gorgeous clip. Absolutely stunning. And what I love about this is just the nib on here. It's an extra fine number 6 Jowo nib. Absolutely beautiful. But I love that there is a smooth transition from the grip to the body. Really, really comfortable pen in my hand. It's currently inked up with Sailor Ink Studio 273, and it is a perfect match. But what I love is that the threads are so smooth when capping on and off. The clip is absolutely beautiful, and with John, you can actually send him different designs if there's a specific design that you want on your clip to match whatever resin body you have. Oh, that's not supposed to be in there, but I am already thinking about my next pen to come from John. I just need to pick the perfect blank or resin to go with it. So that is Silver Burl Pens in my Strata Quartz. Next, we have Italia Luso, and this is the Karina Hepalua model. This is a pen I bought at the San Francisco Pen Show last year, and I had seen pictures of pens similar to this on his Instagram before the pen show, and I said to myself, I need to see this in person in order to decide whether or not I want it. And I love just the mother of pearl and just the pearlescence of the material. And it is a heavier pen because of the metal inside the body, but it's just so beautiful and well made. And he even has his logo on that number 6 Jowo steel nib here, and this one is a fine. It is a beautiful, beautiful pen, and I love the textured or hammered clip there as well. So this is from Italia Luso, my one and only. I don't think I will need any more Italia Lusos. Like, his pens are so unique, but I think for the price point, this was quite expensive for a Jowo nib holder essentially, and I'm happy with the one that I have. So that is from Italia Luso. The next one is from a maker all the way from Australia. This is from Pens by Casey, and Casey is the absolute sweetest. He worked with me to come up with this concept. I really wanted the casein on the finials and on the grip section, and I also wanted the opal inlay, so I wanted that all to match, and Casey worked with me to make sure I got all of those in this pen, and then he added the fine cypress nib on here. Casey is just amazing to work with, and I really love just how unique this pen looks. It doesn't look like any other pen in my collection, and it's just one that Casey and I worked on together to get it so unique. So this is one of the things that I have loved about working with the pen makers, especially the smaller ones that you can have conversations with. That yellow is just popping them. Is that you create this relationship basically with these makers, and you can have these conversations, and you get to know each other. You get to know what's possible, what's not. But also, a lot of these makers are happy to do what they can to make you satisfied, because at the end of the day, if you're not satisfied with your pen, then they're not satisfied either. So I'm so happy to have, especially, you know, for example, with John of Silver Burl, he's also been amazingly sweet to work with, very patient with me as well. Casey, the same. And Casey just gets just as excited as you when he's making his pen. So to know that somebody is in the background working on these pens and is just as excited as you are to receive it, it just means a lot to me. So that is my Tokubetsu from Pens by Casey. Next, we have one of my most recent ones. This is from Hines Pen, and this is in the Starry Night resin, Champagne by Midnight. And I love that Hines Pen have their logo on the finial there, but it's just a stunning, stunning pen. Like, that blank has so much depth to it. From far away, it looks like very, very simple, but bring it up close, it's got such shimmer and different layers. I absolutely love it. And this is just very, very comfortable to hold. It's got an extra fine nib, number 6 Jovo steel extra fine nib that has actually been tuned by Jim for me. And what I love about this is that this particular one evokes the memories of the Pacific Northwest Pen Show. I got to see Jim. He gave me a t-shirt, you know, going to a pen show and you get a t-shirt. And then he also said to me, pick the pen that stands out to you, and this did. And I actually picked this up a few times before I finally said, yes, I want that one. And Jim is such a lovely person to work with. This is the thing I love about pen makers, is that you do get to meet the person who makes the pens. I mean, no, I didn't meet Franklin Christoph or any of the makers from there, but the other 4, you get to interact with them, even if it's online, and that makes such a huge difference. So that is my first set of hand-turned pens. Before I go into my next set of hand-turned pens, the other one I wanted to mention is this hand-turned nib holder from River City Pen Co. I met Rich at the San Francisco Pen Show, and I'm so mad that I didn't get anything in person, but then I saw this on his website and had to get it, and it's housing my Kakimori brass nib. What I love about this is that the way that Rich has actually built where the nib goes into the nib holder, it's just, the rubber casing makes it really, really well insulated, so it prevents it from corroding, from getting wet, which, you know, most nibs do from being, you know, dipped in water and everything. But Rich has done such a great job like engineering this, but also it's such a beautiful, beautiful blank, and it's so comfortable when I am using it for ink swatching and things like that. So this is my nib holder from River City Pen Co. I do plan on getting another one when I go to the San Francisco Pen Show. So that is my nib holder from River City Pen Co. The next set of hand-turned pens are all from Stephen of Just Turnings, and he is based in Australia, and I am very, very happy with all of the pens that Stephen has made for me. So I'll take you through, I guess, in order of when I received them or how I made them or whatever it was. But this one is his Enceladus model, and it is in Jonathan Brooks Pastel Primary Manipulation. I did not have Steven commission this for me. This one was a very spontaneous purchase, but was also one of the pastel primary manipulations that I was searching for, and it is perfect for me because I have seen other pastel primary manipulations that are more saturated, whereas this one I feel really suits me, and I love how light it is. And I was just, you know, scrolling Instagram at 6 in the morning as soon as I wake up, saw this was posted, and immediately said, may I have that please? And I am so happy with it. It currently has well, it does have a number 6 Eovo steel nib, but it's got an extra fine architect nib, and that was ground by Jack Hernandez. And what I love about hand turned pens is that all of these take the number 6 Eovo nib, so I can interchange nibs between them if I want to. So if I want this extra fine architect nib to go on a Zodiac pen, then I can do that. And that's what I love about getting the special grinds as well in the Eovo nibs, is that they can go on any of these Eovo number 6 nib holders. So that is my pastel primary manipulation. Next, I worked with Tim of Turn Pen Co to create this blank. This is the Swirly Joyful Kismet, basically my initials backwards, and I sent Tim a photo of the colors that I wanted, and he did an amazing job getting all these colors. It's a very kind of fall inspired blank, but I absolutely love the way that it looks. But I also love how Steven added the clip. There's also the option of adding different color finials as well, but I'm actually really liking it just as one solid resin like that with the gold detailing. And then this one currently has a fine nib. I think, oh yes, that's a fine architect nib, and it is lovely. So I love this one because it was my first Enceladus model with the clip, or the Deluxe model with the clip, but it's also with a blank that I had custom done through Tim of Turn Pen Co. The next one is an Aussie abalone. This one is direct from Steven himself because he does actually pour a lot of his own resins, and I wanted to have this Aussie abalone but also have the different colored finials, and I love the way this one looks. He worked with me to compare what finials I would like to go on this one, and I chose these kind of clear shimmery green ones to match the green that's in this Aussie abalone. I do have the yellow transparent shimmery ones, or the gold ones, but I feel like the green just works so well. And then in this Deluxe model, I chose the darker metal, which I cannot remember the name of, for the clips and the detailing. And I love that you can do that because there isn't really any other pen that's going to look exactly like this, because the pour is going to be different. You can choose different finials, you can choose different metal detailing, and that's actually why I love, you know, sometimes being able to do these customs with pen makers, because they will work with you to make sure that you walk away with a pen that you absolutely love. And this pen has a fine cypress nib, which is actually a joy to write with. So that is my Aussie abalone. And then lastly, from Just Turnings, this is in his, I think, pink and black abalone, and this one is his BYOP, or Brighten Your Own Pen range, where you can actually put a Sailor Pro Gear nib section on here, or the whole grip section. So I had purchased a Sailor Pro Gear from Amazon using gift cards, and then Steven had sent this one along to me because I had just absolutely adored this. And I love that I can use a Sailor nib with this beautiful blank. So if you ever, you know, have a Sailor, or I think he now does Platinum 3776s as well, if you want to, you know, have a body that brightens that up a bit, Steven can do that for you as well. But I also love this. Like, you can't really see it in camera, but there are just spots of pink that pop out of you that are beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So those are my 4 pens from Steven of Just Turnings. Last but not least, in my hand turn pens, we have Zodiac Pen Co. Now, I know there are a lot of other makers out there and I want to be able to try them all, but I think it also depends, one, on budget, but two, me really finding what I like and what is comfortable for me. And Bart of Zodiac Pen Co has been just such a pleasure to get to know and work with over this last year and a bit. And the first pen that I ever purchased from him was this Virgo model in the Water Lily Koi, and I had been searching for this particular blank with other pen makers, but I had also seen how some of the pricing for the Water Lily Koi models with different pen makers was higher, and Bart is actually very reasonably priced, but also very easy to work with. There was actually a little bit of an issue with the nib going into this section, and he fixed that so quickly. Now this one has a fine cursive smooth italic nib, which I had ground by Jack Hernandez as well. And I love this model because just the way the grip section is and how smooth it goes from the grip section to the body. It's a very comfortable pen, but also Bart really tries to work with what your preferences are, and he also tries to work with you to make sure that you're happy with the way that the blank has turned out. Now, this was one of his earlier Virgo models, so it is a little longer than some of the recent Virgo models, but that was when he was transitioning in the beginning and trying to figure out really the different specifications between all of his models. And all of his models are named after different zodiac signs. So this one is the Virgo. The next one is also a Virgo model, and this is in the abalone, and gosh, it is just gorgeous. I love the pinks and purples and just the teals and the whites. It's just all so gorgeous. I could just keep twirling that in my hand, and currently it has an extra fine nib on here. It's got Birmingham Pen Co neutron stars, so I will clean that out once that's all ready to be cleaned out. But gosh, this one is stunning, and I had been looking for a maker who still had some of this abalone left, and I was so glad to have found Bart. I think at one point when I first got the pens, I think I had 3 come in pretty much all within a week of each other, and I was so happy with just the care that Bart took. Like, his threads are so smooth capping on and off, and just how like the shininess of this, and it's absolutely well done. And then I, waited a little bit and decided that, what, if Bart is coming out with an Aries model, I am an Aries, so I need to get the Aries model. And I was in love with the Arabian Nights Koi from Jonathan Brooks. And I had also, for the first time after, in the San Francisco Pen Show, had felt what the matte finish was like, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I asked Bart if he could do the Aries model in this blank and as a matte finish, and I'm so happy with it. I love that the matte finish kind of shows off more sheen really in the blank. Like, you can see the shimmer, but there's a lot more of a sheeniness to it as well. And the difference between the Virgo and the Aries is that the Aries is actually a little bit fatter in the body, but Bart makes it so that there's still a very smooth transition between the grip section and the body, so it's very comfortable for me. This one currently has an extra fine, just an extra fine, and it's inked with Diamine Bah Humbug, and I'm surprised I don't have any ink. Oh yeah, I do. I have ink on my fingers. But again, love that. And then this one is a recent addition. I hadn't purchased from Bart in a while because I really wanted this 3 Olives Martini blank from Fountain Telling, but I really wanted a model that had a clip on it. I still love the aesthetic and the look of a clip on a pen. I know some people don't really, but I find it funny that I love clips on pens, but I don't actually use them. I don't functionally need a clip, but I love the overall look of it. So then when Bart and I knew that we were going to be meeting at the Pacific Northwest Pen Show, he also told me that he was creating a new model, the Cancer model. And when he showed me the model, I said, yes, I want this, I want the clip, but I also want it in the matte finish. So I actually now have 2 pens that are in the matte finish and 2 that are in the glossy. And I love this model. Again, super smooth threads, really great extra fine nib on here, and it's just so comfortable. Again, like the craftsmanship in these hand-turned pens, yes, well, it's definitely going to vary from maker to maker, but that's kind of what I like about it. When you find a maker that has pens that are just comfortable for you. I know, for example, in Simona's Discord, Shauna loves her Bone Crusher Velma models. Like, that just stands out to me because she always mentions that that's her favorite pen model. We all have that one maker with that one model that we really, really like, and we could probably make all of our pen blanks with that. When you find what you like, you keep getting it. And this is what I like about Zodiac Pen Co. That 1, Bart is really great to work with. 2, I have met him in person, and you have to meet him in person. Just texting with him isn't enough. You have to meet him in person. But 3, his pens are just fantastic, and I'm so happy to have what I have. Oh, but that is it for my hand-turned pen collection. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus the 3's 13, plus the nib holder, so that technically makes 14. I do hope to look at other hand-turned pens at the San Francisco Pen Show and see what else is there. But really, a lot of people say, why do you have so many hand-turned pens? 1, it really is just about working with a maker and being able to specify what you like. And I love being able to support a small business. And yes, they are technically just number 6 steel Yovo nib holders, but I love that I can get different custom nib grinds and switch them out. Because also, if one of these nibs gets wrecked, which has happened to me, I can easily get a Yovo number 6 steel nib replacement. Not a big deal. So, and then actually on top of that, these are consistently good writers for me. I'm happy with that. All right, that is it for me. I hope this gave you some insight on working with smaller makers. And really, at the end of the day, some of them have their website. You can go straight to the website and buy what is ready to ship. A lot of the times, just message them on Instagram. Many of them reply very quickly and are so easy to work with. All right, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks again, and have yourselves a great day.